okay? All right, okay. What is today? It's June 16. Okay, so let's go through the names. Adam Islam.
Here.
Hi. Okay. Anas. Maybe he's coming. Dalwin in the bathroom. Esser here. Kareem. Melek Senaberi here.
Here.
Masri
Here. Here. Masri here.
Yes, I know. Okay. Mazen Amr. Mazen Amr. Hussein. Muaz.
Miss Amy.
Yassine. Yassine is here. And
After we finish.
Habiba.
Play
Okay, honey, I see you. Habiba. Hala. 1 second. Habiba's coming in. Okay. Hala. Jolie. Jumana.
Hi, Miss Amy.
Hi. Anas is here. Okay. Okay. I keep forgetting that you come in as Slim. Jumana and Joy is here. Kinda. Kenzie. Yes, I saw you. Okay. Khadija.
Miss Amy.
I see. Hi, Khadija. Lama's here. Lana. Layla. Lily is here.
Here.
I see you, Lana.
Here.
You're the first one. You're the first one that came in. It's Ella and Sandra and Talia.
Miss Amy, I'm here.
Okay.
Tala.
Great. Yes, I see you. Talia.
I'm here.
I see you. Okay, great. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is revision sheet.
Amy, do you make me absent?
I just called your name for your attendance. How can I make you absent? 1 second. Let me just look for the worksheet. Okay, this is the one I want. I'll find it. Oh. No, this is not the one I want. Okay, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
I have the story with the turtle.
Okay, no, I don't. We're gonna do the revision sheet first. It starts with a poem. You see it? Grade 2?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna show it to you again. It says here. Okay, yeah, it says here. Revision sheet. It's supposed to say revision sheet 2 on top, but I changed it to revision sheet 3. And the poem is Where I Like to Be. You have that, guys? Yeah, the poem says Where I Like to Be.
Yes. You can't actually finish. I think you play every day to us. Miss Amy, I have it.
Great. Okay. Okay. I wrote outside. Yeah. Yes.
Nothing is mean, honey.
It says on the outside of the file revision sheet 3, but inside it says revision sheet 2. Okay. And the poem that we have is Where I Like to Be.
Miss Amy, I have it.
Okay, thank God. Because okay, and the other one with the turtle. You also guys have the one with the story about the turtle?
Yeah, right. Miss Amy, can I read?
Okay, so this is a poem, right?
Okay.
Okay, remember guys how we okay, whoever asked to go to the toilet can go.
Okay, sorry.
You're welcome. Okay, remember we took 2 types of poems this year. One is have rhyming words or rhyming poems, and the other one is free verse. You guys remember them? Who can tell me the difference between them?
Llama.
Llama, go ahead. What is a free verse poem?
A free verse poem?
Yes, dear.
the poet writes story about and his idea and his faith. And the have rhyme words.
Yes, yes. So a free verse poem is a poem where the poet expresses his feelings in a writing and doesn't have rhyming words. It has something called similes, which we practiced yesterday. Okay?
Families?
Yes.
Yes, I have it.
No, yeah, I'm just saying that this poem, a free verse poem, instead of using rhyming words, it uses similes.
It was so easy to recognize her.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading, and then remember, in a poem, we don't say sentence, we say lines, right? And each group of lines, we call it a stanza. So we don't say paragraph. I don't say sentence number one. I say line one, line two, and each group of lines is called a stanza, not a paragraph. Okay. Okay. So the title. Yes, sweetheart.
It says revision sheet 2, but it's here 3.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Outside the file it says revision sheet 3. Yeah, because I was I was trying to write it fast, so I forgot to change the top. Okay, that's the only thing. That's why I said on your sheet it says revision sheet 2. Okay, but on the outside when you print it, it says revision sheet 3. Yeah. As long as you have it, no problem. Okay, so where I will start reading and then Lana will continue, okay? Where I like to be. One day I sat by a tree. The wind blew through the branches. It made a little song for me, which was as sweet as honey. Go ahead, Lana. One day, stanza number 2.
One day as I sat by the sea sang a special song. The sea knew where I like to be. And it played. It is a sweet song for me.
Excellent. Very nice. Very well said. Okay. Next is Jumana. Go ahead, Jumana.
One day as I sat under the sun, I sang some special songs. Then the sun had the love song.
Had to leave.
So did I, but I will be back tomorrow.
Okay, next, Lama.
Yes, Miss Amy.
Okay, read the last stanza.
There's always something fun to do when I spend the day outside.
Very good. Okay,
Miss, this sheet is download today?
No, dear. I will download something new today, but this is I downloaded from a long time ago, or from the beginning of the week. It's in the revision folder. Or who are you, Lily?
No, I'm not.
Oh, Anna, no.
I don't talk.
It's called revision sheet 3. You'll find it in the revision folder.
Miss, it's on the SMS?
Yes, dear.
Okay, I will say tomorrow.
Okay. All right, Lily. Okay, Anas. Okay. And this is a person who is telling us what's her favorite place or what she likes to do. So let's read it one more time and try to understand what each line is saying to us, okay? Where I like to be. One day I sat by a tree. The wind blew through the branches. It made a little song for me, which was as sweet as honey. One day as I sat by the sea sang a special song. The sea knew where I liked to be, and it played its sweet song for me. One day as I sat under the sun, I sang some special songs. Then the sun had to leave. So did I. But I will be back tomorrow. There's always something fun to do when I spend the day outside. Okay?
The sun leave.
Yes. So where does this person like to be? Talia, you understand where? Huh? Yes, Talia.
I think he was. I know. Can I say?
Let's give Talia a chance first. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, there's somebody's mic is making a noise. See, I cannot.
Can I answer after Talia?
Yes,
Amy, can I say to you something? I'm gonna join.
There's noise, like a squeaky sound. Yeah, I don't know who has their mic on. I cannot find that person. Yes.
Miss.
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna join with another account.
Okay.
And I'm Malik al-Masri.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so Talia, where does this person like to be? Does he like to stay in his house or does he like to go out?
He want to go out.
He likes to go out. Very good. Okay. Where does he like to sit? Where does he like to be? Huh? From the story, honey. From the story. From the poem.
can say A.
Yes, go ahead, Senaberry. Yes. What is the the person likes to be by the sea. Where else does he like to sit?
Special song.
He likes to sit by the sea, under the sun, under the tree. Very good. Excellent, guys. Okay. And yes, we're going to go back and forth now. Okay, let's try to answer question number 1. Okay, it says use where I like to be to answer the questions. Okay, let's start with V. I think this is Joy or Anne. Okay.
It's both of us.
Oh, it's both of you, okay. Because I saw Anne come in an account by herself, and now okay. It says in the first stanza, where does the poet?
This is Talia.
I'm confused.
This is Talia this is Talia because her sister is named Anne. So
Really? Oh, okay. Okay. So in the first stanza, it says, where does the poet like to be? Draw a line under the words. Okay, go ahead, Anne. Or Joy. Now we're going to go back to the stanza, to the poem. This is the first stanza. Where does the poet like to be?
by a tree. By a tree.
Okay, he likes to be by a tree. So we're going to draw a line under this line. I'll draw a line under this line number 1. Okay, so the person likes to be by a tree. Let's underline this part. It shows us that this person likes to be by a tree. Want me to make it red for you guys? So you guys can.
Yeah. Miss Amy.
Yeah.
I have the sheet is writing on the grade 2 revision sheet 2.
Yes, it's in the inside it says revision sheet 2, but outside it says revision sheet 3.
What is
After the file.
outside?
I mean on the computer when you go to print it. Okay, because I copy and paste the title. That's it. Okay. Okay. So thank you. So we drew a line under the words that show where the poet likes to be. Question number 2. Anas, what phrase does the poet repeat 3 times? Write the phrase. We're gonna go back.
What? I don't finish and I'm going to join the line. Wait.
Here, it's right there.
Miss, I don't hear you.
Okay, read question. Read question number.
This what we will do now.
Question number 1. Question number 1. Listen to me, guys. Question number 1 says, draw a line. It says, go to the first stanza. This is the first stanza, Lily. Remember?
I don't see. Yeah, and the first page.
Yes, the answer is on the first page. But listen, guys, listen.
You He say in the first sentence.
Yes. You see what Lily just said? Okay. Sentence.
You can go in the next page.
Listen, please. Please, Wallah. The question says, in the first stanza, draw a line to tell you where the poet likes to be. So that's why we went back to the, okay.
No.
And look, remember before when we started the poem, I reminded you guys that in poetry, we don't say sentence. Yeah, Anas, wait, your friends can't do number one yet. Your friends cannot do number one yet. So I have to explain it again. In a poem, each line, each sentence is not called a sentence, called a line. So this is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. And each group of line is not called a paragraph. It's called a stanza.
How? No paragraph.
No, we took this before. Okay, we took this before. I know we took only 2 poems this year, but each group of line is called stanza. This is stanza 1, this is stanza 2, and this is stanza 3, and the last one is stanza 4. So the question number 1 says, go to the first stanza and tell me where the poet likes to be.
To be in the
This is stanza. So Anne answer said, Miss Amy, in stanza number 1, the poet likes to sit by a tree. So that's why we underlined this part, sat by a tree, because the poet likes.
Number 2, maybe in the sea.
We're answering question number. Anna's didn't. Yes.
And
yes.
The line 1.
Yes.
Just to,
yes.
What is this?
Yes. So you go. Yes, you go to line 1 and you underline this part. Okay. By a tree. Okay. Sentence. A question number. Yes. No. No C. No C. Only the question is about stanza number 1 only, honey. If the C is in stanza number 2, he still didn't ask about that. All right. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure?
Okay. Mr. I can ask you. Number 2, how we combine the C? How?
I'm not asking you to combine any sentences. If you look at the sentence, if you look at the question here, it says in the first stanza, where does the people like to be? The poet likes to be, and draw a line under it. That's why we drew a line by a tree in the poem.
By a tree.
Yes, because he likes to sit by a tree, next to a tree. That's what he says in the first. Okay, Anas will read number 2. It says, what phrase does the poet repeat 3 times? There's a phrase that the poet says it one more time. He says it more than one time. This is called repetition. We took this. Repetition means to repeat words more than once, or a certain phrase more than once. Yes, to say it in more than one stanza or more than one line. Ha, Anas, what is the phrase that he or she used more than one time? Look at the poem, dear. Look at the poem.
Can I say?
You guys were very good in this. I know it was the first. Go ahead, Anas. Give Anas the chance. Let's give him a chance. Which phrase or which word did the poet use more than one time in the stanzas? Are there words that he repeated again and again?
One day as I.
Yes, one day as I sat, right? Here, he used it. One day as I sat. One day as I sat. One day as I sat. Okay, so we're going to write it on the line. Okay, okay, let's just write number 2 first, and then I'll let you answer number 3. Okay? Okay. So the phrase that he used more than one time, one day as I sat. He or she used it three times. This is called repetition. If you guys remember the word, repetition is to repeat words more than one time. Remember the poem that he's about the turtle? He snapped at the mosquito, he snapped at the flea, he snapped at the minnow, and he snapped at me. He used the word, just one word, like he snapped like 4 times. This is repetition. Okay? In the poem about...
Oh, I remember.
As I sat on the sea.
What is name? One day as I sat as the sun.
Yes, under the sun. Very good. Okay, who was the next person? Who was the next person?
I want to
I
answer.
want everyone to answer.
I didn't answer.
Can I know your name? I only see Sandra's hand, Melik's hand, these people. Who was talking? I need to know who was the one talking.
حبيبة إسهام song
I'm so confused, Wallah. Okay, I'm gonna choose one at a time, okay? Because I cannot follow up with you guys and your voices, because you guys are talking in the same time, and I cannot recognize your voices. I'm sorry. So I have to mute you all, and then I'll choose. I'm sorry. Okay. So Jumana,
Yes, miss.
go ahead. It says, find the line in the 3rd stanza. We will go to the line in the 3rd stanza where 4 words start with the same sound. Okay, let's read the question again so we understand. Find the line in the 3rd stanza where 4 words start with the same sound. Okay, let's go to the 3rd stanza. What does the 3rd stanza say?
Sing a special song.
Yes. Do you remember what this is called? This is the one we're going to write, right? Sang some special songs. This is called alliteration. Alliteration, when we begin, when we write a line which begins with the same word. Remember, Sally, what? Sally get something, seashells in the sea. Remember, all of them begins with the S. And then you guys, Anne made another one. Anne's arm, it has Anne, something like that. This is called alliteration, where the poet or sometimes the writer uses the same words that begins with the same letter. Okay, so this one is the one that Jumana just read. Very good. This is in stanza 3, and this is the sentence. But I'm going to remove the word I, because I does not begin with the same letter. Okay, so what did the question ask again? Go to the 3rd stanza and find the words that begin with the same sound. What are the words that began with the same sound? Same, sang some special songs. Very good, Jumana. Very bright. Okay, now Malika Masri. Malik. Malik. Okay. Lily, I'm trying to find you. Are you here, Lily? I cannot find Lily. Okay. I'm sorry, Lily, I cannot find you. I will search for you again. Okay, Lama?
Yes, Miss A.
Okay, honey. Question number 4. In the first stanza, what are the two things that the poet compares?
The poet compares.
Let's go to the first stanza. Remember, this is called this is the simile that we were talking about. Simile is when you compare two different things. Like when Lily said, my dad bought a turkey as big as a pillow. We are comparing the turkey to the pillow. Are they the same thing? No, they're different. But this simile means that it was as big as a pillow. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the first stanza. This is the first stanza. What are the two things that the poet is comparing to? And we usually have words such as like and as to show that you are comparing two different things. Go back to, yes, what are the two things being compared here? Read it.
The wind blows. Tree and branch.
No, the branch is part of a tree, remember? Look, let's read it together. Let's read it together. One day,
As I sat by a tree,
the wind blew through the branches. Okay. Is this a simile?
Wind and branches.
No, honey, this is not a simile. How do I know? You don't see the word as or like. Let's look at the third line and the fourth line. It says here, it made a little song for me, which was as sweet as honey. You see the word as?
Sweet as honey.
Yes. The word as, when you see the word as or like, you know there's a simile. Okay. What is honey being compared to?
Too sweet.
Okay, the honey is sweet. What is sweet like honey? Look, the wind blew through the branches. The wind was blowing. Okay? It made a little song. You know, sometimes when the wind is strong, it makes a sound like this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the wind blew through the branches. It made a little song for me, which was as sweet as honey. What is as sweet as honey?
The wind.
The song, right? The song the sound made by the wind. So the two things that are being compared is the song and honey. Okay. Remember, this is something we did yesterday. Song and honey. Okay. You didn't understand the simile, Lemma?
No.
Okay. Okay, I will try to make more examples for this, okay? Let's just hope we can. Okay, thank you, honey. So here, I'm just trying to get you to understand that the wind was making a sound, okay? The sound made a song, and the person is saying that the song was nice and sweet like honey. So he is saying that the song is like honey, and that they are sweet. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, we will try to do more examples. Okay, Asenaberry?
Yes.
Number 5. Okay, number 5, dear. What do you think is the theme?
Number 5?
Number 5, yes.
What do you think
Yes.
is
the theme of the song? Yes, what do you think is the theme?
I couldn't understand this.
Okay, do you remember what's the meaning of theme?
What? I'm going to
Do you know what's the meaning of theme?
see. No.
Well, that's why you don't know you don't understand the question. The theme is the idea. What idea? What do you think is the idea or the message of this poem? What do you think the poet is trying to tell us from this poem? What is the message? Anyone can help?
Llama.
Lama, what do you think is the message or the theme?
The theme is like a poem.
Yes, it's a poem. What do you think the person is trying to tell us from this poem? Yes, Lily, do you have any ideas?
I don't have.
Okay. Lily?
When I like to be.
Lily?
It's trying to tell us that
Okay.
one was singing and was saying all of these songs that like each other.
1 second.
Do you want any of the poems?
No, we are using this poem, honey. We are trying to answer the questions to this poem.
The first poem?
Yes, the first poem.
Okay. I have one day, as I sat by a tree.
Yes, dear. That's the worksheet that we were doing.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about because I make because my mobile was not turned off is the charge. It was want to charge.
Okay, so we read a poem already. Okay, you didn't attend any of the poem.
No, I attended all the poems, but the third poem I don't see.
No, it's the same poem, honey. It's the same poem. The question is, what do you think is the theme of the poem? What do you think the yes? What do you think the person is trying to tell us from this poem?
I made a little song for me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the theme is the message. Remember, the theme is the message that the person is trying to express to us how he feels. Yes, Dalwan, do you have any idea what is the theme of this?
Yes, where the person likes to be.
Yes. So here, and where does the person like to be?
What the person do every day?
No, where the person likes to be. So the person likes to be inside or outside?
Outside.
Okay. So the theme is the poet likes to be outside. He enjoys being outside. He likes to be under the sun, by the tree. He enjoys nature. Okay, so that's the theme. The poet likes to be outside and enjoy the sun and enjoy the sea. Everything he's talking about. Yes,
enjoy everything.
Everything outside. Here, the first stanza is saying that he likes to be by the tree, and the second stanza says he likes to be by the sea, and then the third stanza tells about how he likes to be under the sun. So all of these things are outside.
Tomorrow we will have a quiz English.
Oh,
I want to have a quiz.
Okay, copy this, and because the meeting will end.
Okay, wait 5 minutes.
I cannot wait. The meeting says less than a minute. When it finishes, we will return as soon as it's... Okay?
Wait. I am 5.
I will start the meeting.